I just cannot get over this highlighter. I don't know why I don't use it more often. I remember I used to use it when I was starting out in makeup and I just didn't really get on with it that well, but now I think we besties. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, hello, my name is Lucy, and today I decided to go ahead and play with this beauty. This is the Morphe 35M Boss Mood palette, and let me tell you, I'm obsessed. If you are interested in seeing how this palette performs or how I created this look on my eyes, then please keep watching in the video. You enchant me. So I'm just going to start by doing my eyebrows using the Morphe Micro Brow Pencils. I always forget the name of these, in the shades Biscotti and Latte, and then I'm just going to carve them out with concealer like I always do, and also prime my eyes using the P. Louise base, just so we are all set for the eyeshadow. So now that my eyebrows are done and my eyes are primed, ready for the eyeshadow, I'm going to show you the palettes. So this one here is the Morphe 35M Boss Mood palette. So first of all, I believe that their packaging has changed slightly. On their old palettes, the corners used to be a little bit more rounded, but this packaging is a lot more sleeker. They've got a new sort of logo and it just feels a bit more expensive, I suppose. It's got obviously the sharper corners, and I think it just generally looks a bit nicer. It's a bit dirty, but yeah. If I open up this palette for you, you can see that it is basically autumn in a eyeshadow palette. The thing I love most about this palette, just by looking at it, is that when you look at it, I instantly picture about 6 different looks, because there is such a range of colours in here. So you've got your browns and olivey greens, and then you've got purples, plum tones, oranges, greens, blacks. There's so much going on, but somehow it fits so well into a palette. So I did some swatches of this palette over on my Instagram stories, but I'm just going to do a couple here for you. So this one's closest to me. That's literally just one swipe. Let's do a couple more. And I'll do a matte shade. This palette is seriously pigmented, and I literally cannot wait to use it, because I think this is one of the most beautiful palettes I've ever seen just looking at it. I've also remembered that it actually comes with a slip of paper which shows you the shade names to the different colours. This is a bit useless, I'm not gonna lie, but I will reference this when I'm talking about the different shades I'm gonna use in this look today. So the look I'm gonna go for today is a double cut crease look, because I get a lot of questions asking how I do my double cut creases. So I'm not really sure which shades I'm gonna use. I'm gonna try and use a mixture between both palettes. However, I'm really keen to dig into these green shades right here from the 35M palette, but also I want to use the blues and the purples from the other one. So I'm just going to sort of see how we get on with it. So I'm going to start by taking the shade up here, which is Stroke of Luck. This is the lightest green in the palette. So I'm going to just take that on a Makeup Addiction tapered crease brush. I'm just keeping this shade to the inner third of my eye just for the moment, because I kind of want to do a ombre cut crease moment, so I'm going to go in with darker shades on the outer half. So just whilst I've started doing my eyeshadow, I think I'm actually going to go with the idea of doing 2 separate videos. So for this video, I'm just going to focus basically on the 35M palette, and then do a whole separate sort of tutorial using the 35V, just because I know I don't end up using as many of the shades as I could, because I'll end up using way more from one palette and like one shadow from the other. So for today, I'm just going to be doing a tutorial just using the 35M palette. Then I'm going in with the shade Nude Tude. Nude Tude? How do you even say that? Nude, which is a khaki green sort of olive shade, and I'm just going to take that in the middle portion of my eye. So what I will say about this colour is it's looking very dry on my eye. I don't know if it's to do with the colour or just because I have dry lids at the moment, but it's not often that an eyeshadow colour picks up on that much texture on my eyelids, and it is looking very textury. Then I'm taking the shade Green with Envy, and I'm going to take that on my outer third of my eye. Okay, so I think I'm at a stage where I'm happy with that blend. They do look a little bit drying on my lids, like I said earlier. They are bringing out a bit of texture on my eyelids, which I haven't seen with many other shadows recently. So I'm not sure if that's just because they're green shadows, and green shadows are a bit harder to formulate, but that's the only thing I would say. It was in particular with the middle shade, which I used, I can't remember the name of it, but the olivey green shade. But yeah, I think I'm okay with how it looks. Now I'm just taking a Q-tip with some makeup remover on it, and I'm going to cut out the crease shape before putting the concealer down on top. And no surprise what I'm using to cut the crease, the P. Louise base in the shade 0 and my Zoeva 144 concealer brush. I swear I must just sound like a broken record in my videos now at this point, because I'm not very adventurous, if you can tell, with the products I use. So here I am in my comfort zone. So when doing a double cut crease, obviously if you were doing just a normal cut crease, you always want to go a bit higher than your natural crease anyway, but because you're doing a double cut crease, you want to go just a smidgen higher than that, just so that you can fit in the second crease shape into the same area. You'll see what I mean. Okay, so about 12 hours later, and I'm finally finished with my initial cut crease shape. Now I'm going to start with the double cut crease. So my favourite brush ever for double cut creases is the Anastasia Beverly Hills No. 3 brush. It's a tiny little detail brush with a point on the top, which is perfect for getting that shape and really making it crisp for the double cut crease. So I'm going to start by taking the shade Fired Up, and then I'm going to go in with Bright Eyes, which is next door. They are both orange shades. Okay, so I'm really just going to zoom you guys in so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm always starting with the inner corner, and I'm just taking it underneath my initial cut crease shape. I'm just working in really, really small sections and trying to keep the line in the middle as crisp as possible. Also, erasing your eyebrows when you do this allows a lot more lid space, so it's much easier to do. So I'm not sure if it's the base I'm using it on, but this orange shade is showing up a lot more darker and rusty than it looks in the pan. I was expecting it to be a lot brighter of an orange. I'm gonna leave a space clear in the middle because that's where I want the shimmer shadow to go, and then I'm gonna start on the outer corner instead. Then I'm taking that orange shimmer shade and we're going to go here and here, leaving a space in the middle. Then I'm taking the shade Pop Star and I'm going to pop it right in the middle of that shimmer orange. It's not what I've been used to, I confess, so wake up. Okay, so 2 centuries later and I've finished up both eyes. I'm just going to go off camera quickly and add a black line of eyeliner just so I can stick my lashes to it, and then I will come back to finish the face. Okay, so onto my skin. A couple of days ago, I actually received the brand new Anastasia Beverly Hills Hydrating Oil, and I had a lot of messages asking to review and try it out for you guys. So I'm gonna use it in this video to prep my skin before I put my foundation on. So just as I'm rubbing it in, at the moment, it's just feeling really oily. I know that's gonna sound stupid because it is an oil, but hydrating oil, I didn't realize it was gonna feel this way. I generally hate the feel of oil on my skin. So personally, I'm not the biggest fan of the feeling initially, but I'll leave it for a little while and see how it feels on my skin once it's sunken in a little bit. For me, having combination skin, I don't really feel that having a hydrating oil is necessary, I guess you could say, but for you guys out there who have really super dry skin, I can imagine that this would be a really great thing to have to put underneath your foundation, just so it's not going to cling to you and become really dry. So today I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth Concealer Foundation. This is in the shade 120 Classic Ivory, which is probably a bit dark for me now we're in the autumn months. However, I'm gonna make it work because this is one of my favorite foundations ever. Come on, don't die on me. To lighten that up, I'm taking the Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade C1 underneath my eyes and probably on my forehead too. And to set that in underneath my eyes and on my forehead area, I'm going to use the NYX Contour, what's this called? Highlight and Contour Pro palette, and then also use this to bronze / contour as well. To highlight today, I'm going to use the Sleek Solstice highlighting palette. I've had this for years. I remember when it was like everyone was going crazy for this palette, but I always found it a bit too chalky for my liking. But I'm going to have another go at it today because why not? Right. Well, now I see why everyone loved it. Wow. So to come back in underneath the eyes, I'm first taking the deep olive shade, which I used on the outer part of my cut crease earlier, and I'm going to take that right underneath my lower lashes, and then I'm going to blend it out with the orange shade, which I can't remember the name, but the same one I used for my lid. And to finish off my eyes, I'm just using the lashes from Luxe Lashes in the style Hecate. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's Hecate. And finally with my lips, I'm just going to outline and fill in with a nude lip liner like I always do. And then I'm going to go over the top with the bronzed lip gloss from Anastasia Beverly Hills. So to summarise my thoughts on the new Morphe 35M Boss Mood palette, I think this is going to be my staple palette for autumn. It literally has everything you could want in a palette, except it doesn't have a white, which I would have loved to have seen in replacement for this shimmer shade up here. I would have liked to have seen a white eyeshadow. However, other than that, it's got basically all of my favourite shades to use. So I 100% will continue to be using this palette all through the autumn and winter seasons. Obviously, I did mention that this shade up here, the khaki olivey green shade, did go a little bit dry and patchy on my eyelid. However, it doesn't look any different to the look. I don't think it's noticeable at all. It may well just be the formulation of the green eyeshadows, because I know that they are harder to formulate than say like a red or an orange shade. However, besides that, all of the shadows are blended really nicely, including the shimmer shades. I cannot get over the pigmentation of these shimmer shades. They are literally just like ridiculous. They are so, so pretty, and I am definitely going to use them again. So guys, this is my finished double cut crease look right here. I know it looks a little bit crazy and it may be extra for some people out there. However, when you look at a palette and it really gets your creative juices flowing, you can't really hold them back. So you've just got to let it go. And that's exactly what happened today. I felt just very inspired and very creative. So this is what I came up with. If you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel below, because I would really love to welcome you into my YouTube family. Please also go and follow me over on my Instagram, which is at Lsgmakeup. I'd really love to see you over there. And also I do have a massive 50k giveaway going on over there at the moment with a lot of different makeup brands and goodies. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and have a little bit more of a feel for the new Morphe 35M palette now. Don't forget also to look out for a part 2 of this video where I will be using primarily the 35V palette from Morphe, which is also a brand new palette just come out. So if you do want to see that, then please make sure you are subscribed to my channel and turn the little bell on, which will notify you every time I upload. But for now, I'm going to finish this video here. So thank you so much for watching as always, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!